All right, good morning, viewers. Welcome to Global Entertainment News Breakfast Show, the daily dose of news and updates. I am your host, Steven, and joining me in the studio today are
Bella,
we'll be taking today's story from Punch. Today's top story from Punch: Federal government pardon 4,000 prisoners, saves 1 billion naira feeding cost. Minister. The Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Ojo, said on Tuesday that the federal government freed over 4,000 inmates in the correction facility as part of the digestion effort, thereby saving 1 billion naira in inmate feeding costs. The minister revealed this while speaking at the fifth ministerial press briefing in Abuja. Tunji Ojo explained that the initiative identified many detained who were incarcerated for minor fines, leading to their swift release. He said we the congested our correctional centers by 5% last year, Tunji explained. So I think this is actually to me, I see it as a good way of pardoning inmates. But in this current country where we are, we always have a situation whereby there will always be corruption to everything we are doing. If we check this 4,000 inmates now, you will see that some people are not they are not due for that pardon or amnesty being given to them. Those that have these minor cases of probably um, self-defense, accidental kind of acts that happened that occurred that made them go to prison are those ones they should be pardoned. If we check that list now, we might find someone that's killed so many people, or a kidnapper or an assassin being released part of this thing can be it can actually be caused due to probably one person. They're looking for a way to release one person. They will not look for an excuse to make 4,000. Well, it's Nigeria for me, I tell you.
I'm not talking about the 4,000 being released. If they are being given a pardon for whatever crime they have committed. But right now, it feels like I'm in the fear of insecurity because if they fail to get a job in time and all this, I don't know what they wanted to do the next that is going to lead them to being arrested again. But I feel like first of all, Nigerian prisoners are not welfare. If the government is saying that they are saving 1 million naira for feeding, I don't that is a lie because in the first place they are not welfare. Some of them don't even eat at all. Some of them die of hunger in that prison and then they are just being dumped away. And then now the federal government says that they are saving 1 billion naira for feeding and all that. It's just as if that they are trying to put up another shows of life. Because those people that is being released, they value their freedom and then they wouldn't. But at the same time, the situation of this country now, I fear what the unknown.
Well, I think it's something the government really needs to observe before declaring that freedom to those prisoners. All right, moving on to the next story we have for you on Punch. Tinubu orders victim treatment. Death toll hits 10 in Abuja explosion. President Bola Tinubu on Thursday ordered priority treatment of persons injured in Wednesday tanker explosion at various medical facilities in Abuja. He also directed a thorough investigation into the incident that resulted in multiple accidents and loss of lives that occurred near Karu Bridge along the Abuja-Kefi Expressway on Wednesday. Tinubu Special Adviser on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, revealed the directive in a statement he signed Thursday titled President Tinubu Direct Investigation into Tanker Explosion in Karu. Sympathized with victims. He said the president directed security agencies, particularly those concerned with road safety, to pay closer attention to traffic around the capital city.
That is actually a tragic one because 10 is already dead, and then those that are. Well, I'm not going to be let me start shifting blame because tanker has been exploding, and then we're still not ready to learn about it. That whenever something like this happens, we should not even. But Nigerians are, I don't even know how I'm going to put it.
Something I noticed about, I think it's this year, we have so many cases of tanker
Yes, we have so many
explosion,
cases of it.
and it's now looking as if it's not ordinary again, because it's been long we had tanker explosion occurring every time. I think the way I'm saying this now, I don't want to exaggerate, but I think it's these actions are being inflated by I think it's a personal interest now, because for a tanker to just explode on a normal basis, the one we had last was accident after accident it exploded. But this one, there was no accident at all. It just exploded. So I think there are so many things
That needed to be
where we
investigated.
need to look into to know where this issue is really coming from. And if we don't check these issues, we will keep losing
More lives.
citizens and more life in this action. Alright, moving straight to the next story on Punch. US-based Nigerian woman faces 10-year jail for 4,980,000 fraud, $80,000 fraud. A Nigerian woman based in the United States of America, Funke Iyanda, is at risk of 10 years imprisonment following her indictment in a $4,980 unemployment benefit fund. Punch Metro learned in a statement by the US Department of Justice on Thursday that Iyanda was an illegal resident in the US and was not entitled to the benefit for which she filed claim. The statement noted that between May 2020 and May 2021, suspect applied for the unemployment benefit scheme using another person's identity and received a sum of
Romance scam, our government, when it comes to that aspect, they tend to take it serious. And then I feel this person is going to risk her staying in the US, and then she's going to be deported after she completed her 10 years
well,
imprisonment.
I trust the US for their government. Moving on to the next story we have for you today. How drunk policeman killed my son. Niger widow cries out. A widow of 11 years with 9 children, Aisha Hassan, has accused operatives of the Niger State Police Command of killing his 27-year-old son, Sani Khalid, in cold blood. Iowa Punch gathered that the incident happened in the Agwakaji area of Muitambo, Mina, Chankanja local government area of Niger State, where she lives with her children before Khalid was allegedly killed by the police bullets. Aisha, who is 45-year-old, told her correspondent that she and her children were sleeping in their apartment around 3 a.m. when Khalid stood up and went outside to get some fresh air due to the hot weather condition. She said before she knew what was happening, she had an approached police patrol vehicle and also had a gunshot when she had second shot, and instantly she put her children who were with her, and someone has been shot. Wow. This is I tell you, this is very, very sad.
Exactly. This
It's
is
very,
sad.
very sad.
Being a widow and then also mourning your child at the same time is I really wanted to tell our Nigerian security personnel is they are not doing their work the way they have to do it. I know this work might be something very hectic or their work might be, but at the same time, you can't just go around and imagine. Okay, there is a crime scene here. You didn't go there at that very moment, but after the crime has been done and dusted, that is when they went there and they start packing people that is not even involved in that crime just to replace the criminals that they then now you this is not the first time this type of a thing has been happening for a police officer shooting an innocent person dead for no.
I think the Nigerian police need to have a seminar on how to train most of the police officers on how to use their rifle. Most of them don't know how to use the rifle. Most of them they don't know where to put the gun on auto on zero auxiliary they call it. Um, Most of them just pull their hand on trigger anyhow without being cautious of where the bullet is going to be going to. And I
If
think
they'll
this is
give
one of
them
the
the
things.
gun, there's an armed robbery and they are hearing the gun, they won't even dare to go close to that place because they don't even want to exchange bullets with the robbers. That
It's,
and here they are, they can shoot anyhow at any citizen that they.
it's only in Nigeria you see an old man of 50 plus mishandling a gun, while you see the young ones of 20 something being given stick to stand on the road to do traffic control. All right,
Wow.
moving straight to our top story from Vanguard. Railway MD rises alarm over vandalization of infrastructure. Managing Director of Nigerian Railway Corporation, Dr. Kayode Okiifa, has released an alarm over the increased cases of vandalization of iron material from rail track, saying the menace is a serious concern. Dr. Okiifa stated that this while disclosing the arrest of a notorious vandal simply called Mr. Lucky. He was caught cutting a rail bridge along the Kaduna-Kafanchan axis. According to him, Lucky, who has been under close watch after intelligence reports confirmed he has been behind the vandalization of many of the rail iron on the axis, was caught in the act by the police. He said the police were on a trail of Lucky collaborator at large, saying the worrisome spate of annihilation of iron materials from the rail tracks are becoming very rampant across the country, and reiterated his earlier call on the vandal collaborator. Wow. So
There's
this is very very sad to me, but I don't know why we pray for the government to do
the better things for us.
infrastructures for us, to do better railways for us, better road for us, and it will be the same citizens that are praying for this that will be the one to vandalize. If you go to Lagos, you see so many on the BRT lanes and BRT rail, you see so many vandalization where irons have been removed, have been cut off. You will know that this thing is not something that someone can do with ordinary hand. You know that it's something that was probably cut, probably in the night or something. A well cut iron. You'll be so surprised to see those kind of thing. And these are the same masses that always cry out to say, okay, the government is not doing well for us, the government is doing bad for us. And we are the same people that are always vandalizing this. You know, they can't tell us people from outside the country are the ones doing this.
No.
Their citizens doing this. So I think we really need to know what to do to. If we keep doing like this, our country is not going to be nice.
No, no, I'm still going to say that the majority of Nigerians are not actually good people. We don't even want the good things to touch us, talk more of the other person beside us. Because if we are going to look into this, we have a countless number of those things. There was a video I watched, a man at the middle of the night. This person is married with kid, middle of the night, stealing manhole up and down, driving a Sierra. Like, how? This thing does not even belong to you. Why would you want it to just be so reckless, like have so much confidence in taking what does not belong to you? This thing was done there to prevent a flood and all that, drainage and all that, but it just feels like, why is it there for? Later they'll be complaining, government is not doing anything, but you people are not even doing the best to assist the government.
So if we check it in the other hand too, this can also be they can also be people that are sending these people to do this kind of thing,
Yes, they have.
because this is politics. Nigerian politics can be very very funny. You can see someone that was given a particular contract to do a particular thing. In the 6 months, you see the person sending the same person who can send someone to go and destroy it. So he's going to be getting another contract in that aspect also. Well, I think the Nigerian government needs to really look into this vandalization. All right, moving up to our next top story from Vanguard. Asaba 1967 massacre. Our people needs apology. Obi of Asaba tells Tinubu. The Obi of Asaba, Professor Enfani Azinge, SAN, yesterday told President Bola Tinubu that the people of Asaba in Delta State needs an apology over the 1967 Asaba massacre. The Azangba of Asaba also demand more federal government presence in Delta State, lamenting that Asaba is the only state capital without any federal university. This is the first class monarch, has commended President Bola Tinubu government, describing him as being on the right track despite the complicity of leading Nigeria. Wow. I think this is one of the um,
They need
uh,
a partnership with the president.
well, I think it's normal. You know, in this country, you always if you always want to win favor of a particular person, you will play to the person's tone.
Yes,
For you to even be able to invite the president or to talk with the president, definitely there should be a chemistry between you and the president. For you
exactly.
to be able to take pictures with a particular person or probably going to his house or the person coming to your house, definitely he's not your enemy.
No,
So
that's the
and definitely he's someone you want to support. Having a sitting president, you know, any sitting president in the country will always get support from people. It's only by backstage you will know what's really happening. And I think what this man has said, the Asaba have said, right, to me, the only thing I take from there is Asaba not having a federal university is very, very
exactly
poor.
that is what I was thinking about.
As wide as Asaba is, and the the the, the resources Asaba has gained to when it comes to Nigerian film industry, Asaba is the largest. But I expect them to have a federal university. To me, it's very, very poor.
Well, Nigerian, and how will I say, Nigerians and their own side by side take and all that. They might say that Asaba might not be the government Asaba might not be good way they wanted to push their interest on, or they don't want it to actually invest so much in that side. They all take side.
So, all right, moving forward, Fuba exonerates himself from pipeline vandalism, vandalism, blames Wiki for crisis in Rivers State. The suspended Rivers State Governor, similarly, Fubara, has absolved himself of any blame for the explosion of oil pipeline in the state, which prompted President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to declare a state of emergency on Tuesday. Sorry. Tinubu openly blamed Fubara for doing nothing to dissuade criminal group and militants from making good their threat to attack oil installation in the state. Well, this is very, very funny to me because someone you don't really love in that position. I think to me, I think Wike is actually the person ruling that Rivers State, despite Rivers State having a governor. Because Wike came outside to say the statement I heard. He said without him being in Rivers State, he rules Rivers State.
Wow.
He's a minister in Abuja, but the kind of relationship he has with that state, you know that and there's nothing that goes out from that state
That he doesn't
that
know.
he doesn't know. So he was even the one that handed the governor to that state. Definitely, you should know that Wike has so many plans in that. But for the president coming out to say Fubara has something to do with the vandalism of the pipeline, I think there are so many things.
My question is, both Wike and Kubara were having a show. Why is it that it was only Kubara that was being suspended in this whole situation? Because these two of them are having a misunderstanding. But you don't actually just wanted to, okay, I understand the fact that he actually demolished the House of Assembly in Rivers State and also this. But at the same time, judgment should be passed accordingly.
Well, you know, Wike played a very big role in Tinubu's um,
Political journey.
or yeah, in his journey. But you know, I think there's something fishy that we don't really know yet. Because for Tinubu to always want to do what anything Wike asks from him, you should know that there's something we that's very hidden that we don't really know.
Wow.
Something hidden that we don't really know, I tell
You
you.
can you see the way that he was just ruling the FCT around, revoking lands and property. I don't
But to me, I think it's very wrong for you to suspend a governor, also suspend his vice, suspend so many house
lawmaker in the
lawmakers in the house. Definitely, who's going to rule? Who's going to go over the state? You are now placing an administrator to take over the affairs of the state without having a vice, without having people to work with him. Definitely, I believe that man that has been put there is just it's just to me,
it
I see
might,
him as a toy to that state
I
because it's anything they tell him to do is what he's going to do.
I just feels like if Kubara is still not going to keep quiet and just watch them and then still wanted to prove a point about the whole thing that is happening, he might actually just be kicked out of that position as the president of the governor of River State.
What I believe is what you do to others is what is going to come back to you. It's a law of karma. Alright. Alright, viewers, thank you. We've come to the end of today's program. Thank you for joining us today on the Breakfast Show. I've been your host today. I hope you enjoyed today's program. Be sure to share and like, and don't forget to subscribe on all our social media platforms. Until next time, for now, we have to say bye. God bless.
Yeah.